Just had to check if it was morning or afternoon there. A very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom Grieve and I'll be taking us through the proceedings here today. Assisting in the crowd, many of you would have had the pleasure of meeting already, John Pantelios, Josh Hummelhoff, and together we're representing Ray White Estate Agents, auctioneers and property managers of 276 Newham Road in Carnegie. On behalf of the team at Ray White, but more importantly, on behalf of our vendors here today, we'd just like to say a very quick thank you to you all for your attendance. It's obviously a very special day for the lady who owns this property. She's been here almost since the place was brand new. She told me it got leased out for about a year by the original developer before she moved in here shortly thereafter. So a lot of emotion and a lot of an end of a journey for some here today. So 20 of the interested buyers, all the very best with your bidding, and 20 of the underbidders, commiserations in advance, and we will attempt to help you find another property in just a few moments' time, I promise you. Now, today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of today's auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for the property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer today, I can indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits any major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it does provide fines for this conduct. The rules do permit vendor bids, and the words we'll use during the auction to indicate we're making a bid on behalf of our vendor here today will very simply be vendor bid. And of course, by law, only I, as your auctioneer today, have the right to place that bid on behalf of the vendor. Now, attached to the contract of sale, we've had the Section 32 on display for the last half an hour or so, and for anyone who's taken the time to have a flip through, you'll see it does confirm Ray White, as the vendor's estate agent, is selling what is formally described as Lot 3, obviously being Unit 3 or 4 on the block here, on plan of subdivision 026255S, which is more commonly known to yourself and I, of course, as 3 at 63 Coorigil Road here in Carnegie. Now, in a moment's time, when I do call for a bid, a little bit preemptive there, Junior, but in a moment's time when we do call for a bid, we'll be asking for a deposit equal to 10% of the purchase price, with the balance due 30 or 60 days' time from today. Unless, of course, something else has been organised prior to having your bids taken here today, in which case John and Josh, I'm sure, have already given you permission to go ahead and bid on those terms. Now, if you are a first-time auction attendee, to place your bid, simply shout out your bid in a nice, clear voice. Nod of the head is fine, or seek assistance from Johnny or Josh in the crowd here today. The way that we'll be selling the property is by calling it down 3 times. On the first, second, third, and final call, when the contract hits my hand, we'll be selling, sold. And when the contract hits my hand, we're done. No late bids can or will be accepted today, buyers. So essential that at the end of the proceedings you do hold the highest bid, or you do well and truly risk missing out on the property. And for anyone who's been to any of our auctions lately, you'll know that we keep telling you that in 80% of the instances where properties pass in, the highest bidder goes inside and goes on to buy the property on the spot. So the odds are very strong that if you've got the highest bid here today, whether we meet the reserve or not, there's a very strong chance you're still going to be putting the sold sticker on the board in the next hour or so from now. It's as simple as that, buyers. If your strategy is to sit back and wait and see what happens, also a very favoured strategy of some buyers in Melbourne, you've probably got a 20% chance here today of buying this property. I'm not a gambling man, but I do know I was all right at maths, 80%, much better than 20%. So let's work with that one, folks. The property itself, as I mentioned, near enough to a one-owner property. They're hard to find in this area. People come and go from Carnegie. It's a very transitional area. But when you do find a property like this, it's worth paying that little bit extra for. You know it's completely original. It shows the warts and all, and you can see as you walk through here, this was a very well-built property. You look around and there doesn't seem any other damage and a bit of wear and tear that you can expect from a property which is in excess of 30 years old now. Size-wise, 112 odd square metres. Interestingly, a blonde brick veneer built in the 1950s was commonly 112 square metres of internal living space. So what you've got here is very much in line with what some of those older unrenovated family homes are in terms of the livability and the internal living size. Josh and I were just making the comment a few moments ago. Spend a little bit of money on this. The floor plan is perfect. You've got bedrooms down one side, living down the other. You've got access right from the living room straight into your own private courtyard. You've got the lock-up garage, a bit of room out in the front as well. It really is a blank canvas for one lucky buyer here today. You know that when you do get the single level 3-bedroom right, it has downsizer written all over it. So if your plan is to come in here for a few years and add some value, this is the kind of property you can add value to. We see properties like this in their finest form selling well in excess of $1 million because a downsizer who's just sold for $2 million comes in and says, I'll take that. There's nothing to do, it's single level, it's close to shops, close to transport. What more could I want? It's the perfect property to be adding value to, buyers, if that's what your intention is. Otherwise, there's plenty of life left in the home as it is. You can come in and live there for 5 or more years without doing a thing. And that's the reason why these older properties are so well sought after, because they don't need work and they're well built. Just to touch on the location a tiny bit more, moments away from Murrumbeena or Carnegie Station, tram at the end of Truganini Road, a plethora of cafes to choose from. Cafe Del Mar, just a short walk. Left field, a short walk in the other direction. Numerous parks and schools to choose from. There's a reason why properties in Carnegie continue to grow in value. In fact, in the last 12 months, we've already seen close to 15% put back on the median house price for properties in this price point. So ladies and gentlemen, before we do get underway, I will just make a note quickly. Josh does have a phone bidder registered here today. So if he is bidding, he's not trying to buy the property. It will be a bid on behalf of a buyer who has got authority for someone to be signing on their behalf here today. So folks, with that, we're going to put it across to you now. We'll call for a fair, reasonable start. 363 Coorigil Road in Carnegie. Who wants to get us underway here today?
800.
800, nice strong start, sir. Welcome to you at 800,000. Don't let his confidence intimidate your buyers. At 800, we're away. At 800,000, the bid now. Call for a rise at 10 if we could. 800's a bid there at 8. At 800 even, can we call it 810 buyers? Call it down 3 times for you. At 800,000 now on bid. First call now at 800's a bid. 810, can we say buyers? Second call, $800,000. Surely not. 10,000 rise, can we say buyers? Take us there now. Third and final call at $800,000. It's a bid. 800,000. Not going to let him have it that easy. It's a strong start. It's a smart strategy as a buyer. He's got you all thinking, wow, he's got money to spend. Roll the dice. Try it, buyers. He's here to be tested. $800,000 is a bid. Can we call it a rise of 10? Nice easy roll of the dice. Put yourself in the box seat. $800,000 I've got. I will call it down 3 more times for you, buyers. At 800,000, it's a bid here. 800,000. First call now at 800. Can we say 810, ladies and gentlemen? Fortune favours the bold. Now's the time to speak up. As I said, 80% chance at least that he's going to buy this property here today. I'd suggest even greater if nobody else bids. Second call now. $800,000 is the bid. Happy to take a rise at 10, ladies and gents. Who wants to throw the number there? Third and final call at $800,000. Hold done. Hold silent. $800,000 a bid. Well, folks, I'm just going to quickly ask for 1 moment of your time while we have a quick chat with our vendors. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience at $800,000, dealing exclusively with the highest bidder at this stage. I can tell you now we will not be placing a vendor bid here on in. If there's no further bidder advance in excess of $800,000, the highest bidder will get to come inside and put himself in the best spot. I can almost tell you now. There is no chance of anyone else buying this property if you don't bid here today. We're close to the vendor's expectations. $800,000 is a bid. Still dealing exclusively with the highest bidder. Back in your hands. Happy to take a 5 if it gets you in at buys. An $800,000 a bid. Rise of 5, can we say to 805? $800,000 we're bid here. Looking for a rise of 5 buys. If you're just joining us, $800,000. First call now at 800. Can we call it 805? One last chance for you all buyers. Second call now. 800's a bid. If you've been here with any interest, if you're sitting 2.5, I'm going to take it at 802.5, 8.5, 805 would be your reply. 802, 500 the bid here on my left. Can we say 805? Sorry, 810. Thank you, sir. We're on the market and selling. If there's no further bidder advance, 810,000 buyers at $810,000 a bid. Happy to take your change, buyers. On the market and selling. $810,000 is a bid. First call now at 810. We call it 12.5. What about a 1? I'm going to plead with you in a minute. Do I need to get on my knees here, Josh? $810,000 is a bid. What's it going to do to keep in it, Josh? Find out for me. $810,000 a bid. Second call now. On the market and selling at 810. Rise at 2.5. Can we say buyers? What do you got in your pockets? Throw me the change. 810 out of respect to the highest bidder. This is the last chance. Third and final call at $810,000 a bid. Definitely out today, Josh? Yep, same time. We're on the market and selling. 810's a bid. We are selling. Sold. Congratulations to the highest bidder.